Hello everyone, welcome back to RCH Builders. Back down here again. First thing I got to do today is mow the lawn, and then we'll see what we can get done after that. I've brought some wood to be able to start framing up some walls. Hopefully we'll get a couple of those up. We'll just see how it goes. Like I said, I got to mow the lawn. I should have mowed it last week, but I didn't have the lawnmower, and I was pushed for time. I'm still pushed for time again today, but I definitely need to mow it today. The weeds aren't so tall, but the grass is now extra tall in comparison to the way it has been earlier in the year. But hopefully we're getting towards the time of year when the grass kind of slows down growing and kind of evens out. We'll just see how that goes. But I'm going to go ahead and mow the grass real quick, and then we'll head inside and see what we can get done. Alright, so I finally got the lawn mowed, taken care of. It was not quick at all. It was definitely not quick and easy. Took way too long with how thick the grass was. But anyways, I've got that done, and I went ahead real quick and I did unload the lumber that I had in here and move stuff around. I've been trying to use one side for trash and one side for material. It works up to a point, and it's almost past that point. But before I can frame, we got to fix our generator because I have no electricity out here. So at the end of, towards the end of the last day out here, when I had to restart the generator after putting more gas in it, the pull cord broke. It still started the generator when I pulled it, but then I can't start it again. So I'd gotten this morning, I'd picked up 2 different cords from Home Depot real quick, and just got to see which one will work. I believe the 1/4 inch will work, and then I can take the other one back, the 3/16, but I'm not really sure. But either way, before I can frame, got to fix this generator. So hopefully it won't take too long. I think one thing I'm going to do to make it easier to get to, I've got a 2x4 laying here, and I'm going to pick this up and set it underneath those feet. Just make it a little bit easier for me to get to. So first thing to fix this cord is going to be to take this face plate off here. Looks like there's 3 screws. Take a wild guess. 8mm. Take those 3 off and it should just slide right off. So typically with these, what happens is when you pull it, see that? When you pull the cord, it makes the little prongs come out, and then they'll catch this and pull it. So that's why you should kind of pull it slowly and then pull it faster afterward when you first start. And it looks like, yeah, it broke off almost as soon as it was like this is where the knot is, and it broke right there. So not much that's left in here. I'm trying to use this to get this little tag out so that then I can pull it out. It's like you have anything with a pull cord, eventually it's gonna break. Especially if it's something that's left outside a lot. It's gotta be the 3/16. Yep, apparently it's 3/16. That's nice. If it works the way it's designed, which it pretty much never does, you're supposed to just pull it without opening up the whole packet. Maybe if I can get it to come out the back. Alright, where did I put that pull cord? The old one. Underneath there. Alright, so should be able to, especially since it broke off right there, just leave a little bit extra to be able to tie it off up there, but measure off this existing pull cord and do the same thing for the other side. So leave like a couple inches. So much for that. Come down here and again leave a couple inches down here, a little bit more because it was actually in there. Easiest way is going to be to take it that way, that direction. Even though you got to pull the entire thing through, but trying to get it fish that way is just going to be more pain than it's worth. Just going to tie a double knot. That's essentially all they had on it. Then you can just pull it the rest of the way through. And it's going to show you essentially which direction it needs to go. It's already aimed that way, so that tells you want to make sure that it goes that direction. So just thread it around. We've already got it the right length, so we don't have to worry about that. We just need to thread it until we have just enough to get out the hole. The hole's right here. And because this works off of a little bit of tension, you'll see with measuring it, it's a hair short, but that's by design. You want to pull it just barely. So you can get that through. You see that'll go right back. And then we need to get this one out. And you see they actually only did a single knot on here. Slide it through. I'm going to do just a single knot here as well, because there's not a lot of room down in here. And there we go. It's all repaired. Now we just got to put it back on. Had the cord facing up. Just get all the holes started. And now we can fire it up and have electricity so we can get our air compressor going and try and do some framing. Get this 2x4 out of here so it can set a little flatter. Pull it a little bit away from there. It's all metal, so it's not really going to hurt anything, but I still like to give it a little room for the exhaust. Alright, now let's give it a pull. Nylon string has a lot of stretch to it. Too much stretch. That's all they had at the store, though. All right, in that case, I'm going to do a double knot. Alright, so now that we got the lawn mowed and we got our generator running over here, we can move inside, get out of the sunlight. So of course, last time when we were here, we got our floor down in the back. And we still have a big old mess everywhere else. So what I'm going to try to do is use up some of the material by creating our rooms back here and building our walls. I don't know how many I'm going to get done because between mowing the lawn and having to fix the generator, it's getting kind of late already. So but I'm going to try to at least build a couple walls real quick. But to do that, I still have to, even though the generator's running, I still have to set up the air compressor, get out the hose, get out my saw, my skill saw, and tape measure and all of that stuff. So I'm going to set camera up here and then go ahead and get those things out and hopefully get started framing some walls. I think because I put all those things over there, I think I'm going to start on this side going this way. So that being the case, we'll set up the camera over here. Alright, so I'm going to try and keep moving forward. First I had to mow the lawn, then I had to fix the generator. Got everything in here, went ahead and started to try and get stuff set up, and my chalk line is broken. It doesn't want to work, but we're going to try and keep moving forward. This right here is kind of roughly the drawing that me and my wife have drawn up to give a general idea of what we're going to try and do at this house. So this is what I got to work with. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. There we go. It's not really zooming in. I'm moving the paper, but so I draw it up on graph paper. Each square designates a certain spacing. On this drawing, I did each square represents, I believe, 6 inches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 5 feet. So yeah, each square represents 6 inches. So it would be a 6 by 6. So that's what I use generally to come up with my measurements from here. So first thing I'm going to do is try and get this wall in right here between the washer and dryer and this bathroom. As I said, I'm going to start with this one. This one's going to be a 2 by 6 wall, so I can do 2 things. One, so I can get a 3-inch vent pipe up through it. That's the main reason, and it'll help give room for the washer and also especially for the dryer box to go down and out. And so of course I don't have a chalk line, but so we're coming 5 feet out, and then this way, yep, 9 feet to that wall. Because I don't have a chalk line, right in the middle of the window. I was doing away with the window anyway, but that means I'll have to do it sooner. Now, first thing I'm going to do is frame in this window and create what we call a T-post. A T-post means it's essentially almost, I guess you could say it's like an N as far as how it's shaped. But what it does is it creates a location for your wall that's coming into it. So the reason it's called a T-post is because you have this wall and this wall essentially creating a capital T. But what it does is it creates a location on either side of that intersecting wall for sheetrock to nail to, and a location in between for the wall to nail to. And I also need something for the OSB that I'll add on the outside to nail to. So I'm going to add one here. There'll be one added at each of these locations the rest of the way up. And then this basically is where I'm going to add the H post or T post. And what I'm going to do is try and use up some of this old lumber from where I tore out the old walls. One, to use it up instead of throwing it away. Two, because it's going to match the dimensions of the existing lumber that's already in that wall better than new lumber. That's probably good. Because these are just to give me something to nail to. They don't have to be solid. The ones in the middle will. So for the H or T post, some people call it an H post, some people call it a T post. Doesn't really matter. I usually call it a T post, but because I've had lots of people call it an H post as well, and I've heard it so many times, you know, I probably don't even notice how many times I might call it an H post, except for I'm trying to call it a T post for y'all on here. So, but this is going to be a 2x6 wall, so you want your spacers to be 2x6. Use these just whatever leftover pieces you have. Typically, it's going to, for you to nail your wall into it as well, you're going to want it to be around 12 to 16 inches, something like that. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be specific. It's just leftover pieces. This one was big enough I could just cut it in two to get two out of it. Appears I don't have another leftover. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and blow away the sawdust that's all down there. Put the bottom plate down, and then I will measure over against the wall what the height of these studs need to be and put them in. And they will all be the same based off of here. What I see too often is people will measure each stud. And I call that reinforcing a sag that's in the roof. Because what it does is that they measure it because they're all different, because this joist up here is sagging. But what that does is it just reinforces it where it's at. It doesn't fix the issue. If you start at the edge and you cut them all the same and wedge them in, it's going to pick it up. That gets rid of the sag instead of reinforcing it. And it'll take care of it on all of these when I put this wall in later. All right, everyone. So, not really much to see today, I guess, because of how long it took to do other things. But at least we got the generator fixed. We've got the lawn mowed. So, and we've got a few things figured out based off the drawing and what we've done here so far. So, I have figured out that this wall needs to move that way about a foot, give or take. Now what that means is I'm going to need to do another floor joist underneath, I believe, in between this double and the next one over. Hopefully that won't be too hard to do from underneath because of this here and everything else, but we'll just end up seeing when we go to add that in. But with that being the case, at least, like I said, we've got a bunch of the other small stuff done. And I'm able to have a list together. I did want to do this wall across here, but I really need a chalk line. The 8-foot level is not long enough to reach from that wall to this wall. And with that being the case, what I don't want to do, because this is an old house and this wall back here might go like this slightly, I don't want to measure there and here and keep doing that to be able to use the 8-foot level, because it's apt to have this new wall do the same thing. And I don't want that. I want it to be straight. So I really do need a chalk line. But at least, like I say, I've got a bunch of things taken care of, so that next time, at least I can bring a chalk line, a new one. I'll get that. We can bring 2x8s for moving this wall, but I don't know that we'll do that just because I think it'll help better with footage to be able to build this wall here, maybe this one that's out here. Now, I can't really build this wall out here until this one is moved because it goes all the way down through there, but I can build the wall that is going to be separating. It's going to be right around here probably. So we can again close this window off. But actually what I'll do is I will go ahead and build probably a temporary wall over these, and then go ahead and build an actual wall, rebuild this wall section here. I might be able to leave what's up here, except I take this, there's a 1x going across here. That white board is a 1x. And then there's another 1x on the bottom that I can probably break off inline. And then I'll just need to replace the studs that go from here to here. The corner post should be in the right place, based off of when it would have been a porch, the way they would have framed that. So then I can basically do that. They'll close up that whole thing and probably go ahead and put OSB on from here up, and OSB in over this window here, close that off, have that part taken care of. Hopefully that's what we'll get done the next time. And then, depending on if there's time, build this wall, this one here, and then we'll have to build the 2 walls for the hallway after we move this wall. But before we do that, we got to add the joist underneath, because if we don't have that floor joist under it, when we move that wall, it's going to make it really, really difficult to put that joist in, because then you'll have the weight of this entire ceiling. And then we can build the wall in the right location, remove this wall, and use the 2x4s from it to build at least one and maybe a partial of the hallway walls. So, like I say, not a lot this time, but with what we've gotten done, at least should make it to where we should be able to really move forward with the next few videos. Hopefully, I mean, I don't like just, I mean, it's a waste of my time to come down here and do just a little bit. Like I say, on camera, for y'all, it might seem like a small amount, but I mean, I spent a long time doing the yard and other stuff that's not on camera. I don't figure y'all are watching my channel for that. So I'm not really trying to video it all the time. I've thrown it in a few times here and there as something a little different, but I don't want to do it every time I come down because, again, it's not supposed to be a landscaping channel. It's supposed to be a home improvement, how to fix and renovate and change a house. So if y'all are wanting to see more of the landscaping while I'm doing it, as it being part of this project because it's something that has to be done, you can let me know in the comment section and I can add them in. But like I said, I just figure you don't. So without anyone saying anything, that's what I'm going to assume. But with that being the case for today, this is going to be it. Hope you've enjoyed watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you the next time.